Vroom, 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 vroom. Honk, honk. Get in, losers. We're going struggling. Vroom, 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 vroom. Hello, friends, and welcome to another ride in the Struggle Bus, where every wheel's an empty triangle. We are back with our normal bus rides after a lot of really complicated games. I'm excited to jump back in and go over the basics with you guys. And so we are playing against a 12K on OGS today. And you want to know what? Pretty good game. Our friend played really, really well. The game gets really complicated, really fighty. And so I try my best to go over what I'm looking at with those. But yeah, it's definitely trickier when the games go this way. But it's definitely a fun one to go through, and I'm glad to be back at it. So anyway, as per always, I'd like to thank our opponent for playing us today. I'd like to thank you guys for watching these videos, and I'd like to thank my Patreon subscribers for supporting the channel. So let's go get into this fighty game. Okay, here we go. We are playing against a 12K on OGS. It's been a while since we've done one of these, friends. So, when we're focusing on the basics, hopefully you remember them. We care about the corners, then the sides, then the center. We care about third and fourth line stones early in the game. Do not care about first and second line stones. We like responding to attachments. We like balancing our third and fourth line stones. We like responding to these approaches. We're just going to play the diagonal here. I like this. It keeps it nice and strong. We can actually Tanuki away from this. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go approach one of these corners. I'll approach this one. Why not? And I will approach here. We could have approached either. We could have taken a 3-3, played either side. It is fine. Our friend backs off. We will keep it simple and slide in. Hopefully we all know this variation. Black will most likely play c3, but this is not Sente. Black can play away. But black does play c3, and we will go make our base here. This is most likely the first Joseki that you learned. It's the first Joseki I learned. So, okay, so our friend has come and played on the other side of these stones. That is perfectly fine. Let's get a little more strength for them then. Best way to do that, attach to stones. We can attach to this stone. We can attach to this stone. I like attaching to this one because it helps build the corner. We care about the corners before we care about the center, right? Playing Q13 would kind of be a central move. Okay, this looks to play here, which threatens both of these cuts. So we're going to go play here, which proactively protects the cut at R17, because we have to protect cuts too. That is one of our basic rules. So now if black plays Q16, we can just protect this cut, and this cut is already protected. So let's see what our friend does. I hope our friend plays something like P13. P13 would be a pretty awesome move here. So let's see if they can find something like that. Okay, they have instead pulled back, which is also a perfectly fine move. So I think our corner's all set. I think this group's all set. I think this group's all set. I think this group's all set. So we've got two corners that we can do things with. Let's go extend off of this stone. And honestly, like, these two sides are pretty much the same thing. So we're just going to pick one, and we're going to play here. Because we're not quite yet at caring more about the sides than the centers, but we're going to be getting there pretty quickly. Or sides over the corners, rather. And so our friend plays this. I like that. It is a fine move. So now that all the corners are spoken for, now we can really start going for the sides. And so I'm going to go approach these stones first, I think. We will play here, go nice and close, just pressure the group a little bit. Black will typically respond with something like M15, at which point we can pull this stone back and make a nice base. That is an option. Black could look at something like H17 if black feels like fighting, or black could attach, also a viable option. So when we get attached, we need to respond, and you're either going to respond with extending or the Hane. In this case, I think the Hane is fine because it opens up the Atari at L16. So we will go play the Hane. Black should probably look at L16, at which point we're just going to connect. We could stand up. This is a good move. But then black can cut. We would probably have to give up this stone, which is fine. That's actually a fine exchange for us. But let's keep it simple and protect the cut. Let's not do the sneaky. This is nice and proper. It follows the rules, and you guys know that if you follow the rules, it's going to be tough to get in trouble. As where if you try to be sneaky and stray away from those rules, that's when we can start getting ourselves into trouble. Because there's gonna be fights no matter what, guys. So you don't need to be tricky to get them to happen. Okay, I want to show you guys something fun. So what we're gonna do is we are going to play this approach here. This approach looks, it doesn't look too dangerous, but there's a really, really nasty follow-up if black tanukis. And so, do I want to showcase that? Well, black has attached to our stone, so we should respond to it. So I am going to respond to it. Going to play this extension, which is going to help build our corner, and then black plays here. So this stone's under a little bit of pressure, so I'm going to jump out first. This pressures the corner, and it pressures these two stones, which is going to be a little tough for our friend. In the review, I'll show the Aji that happens with this corner. Now, I don't want to do it in the game because it's a little too severe. So we have these two stones. Maybe we're not too sure, how they're doing. We've got these three stones. Let's just go and surround the corner. Nothing wrong with surrounding. So let's just play here. Black will live small. We'll get our strength in the center of the board, and everything will be good. As we transition into middle game, we have to care about strength of groups, and we have to care about potential for points on the board. We don't actually care about points too much yet, but a lot of people, ask me, when I'm giving lessons and whatnot, what's the goal of middle game? What should I be looking for? And those are the two things. Those are the two things that I always harp on: is keep your group strong, keep your opponent's groups weak, and really go after the potential, both yours and your opponent's. Don't worry about points quite yet. So black is threatening a cut. We obviously need to protect that cut. Black is threatening a cut. We obviously need to protect that cut. There is a cut here, though, but this one is not too dangerous. Do you know why this one's not too dangerous? I'm curious if you know why this one's not too dangerous. The reason that this one's not too dangerous is after we take this Atari and play this little shape here, you'll notice that our 5 stones are fairly strong. And really all we care about here is the strength of our group. Also worth noting, these 3 stones are a lot weaker now because of the strength of this group. So black has to do something about that. Fantastic timing for this. This was a really good move by black. And so as this group gets stronger, our group gets weaker. And what do we care about, guys? We care about strength of groups. So we want to make sure that our group stays strong. So we are now going to extend, which makes these 2 stones weak. So now black responds to that. So what's nice about this is you'll notice black has 2 groups to care about. We only have 1. That's why I was not worried about this cut. So let's go play this move to move out faster, which threatens the strength of this group and also starts to threaten the strength of this group. So when we go back, I said that I was not worried about this particular cut. This is exactly why. It was because black has a group here that's not strong yet. And we're in the middle game. We care about strength of groups and potential, but the strength of groups is the more important, the 2 things. So since black has a group here that's not terribly strong, black is not in a position to fight. So let's get back to the game and see what's going on. I like this move quite a bit. I like this move. It's a good move. It goes after these 2 stones and goes after our group here. Fantastic move. I really like it. Really, really like this move. I'm going to go play this Hane. we might end up losing these 2 stones. And that would be fine. I mean, it's not fine. This was really well played by our opponent. But let's go play here. Threaten to connect. And what do we want to do now? I think probably just playing here is good enough. It threatens the cut. It links up our stones. And this cut's really, really painful if black lets us get it. So black probably needs to fix that. And black did a very good job of fixing that. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with how our friend handled this tricky situation. So the other part of it, though, is this group is still a little weak. So if we played a move like J13, this group would be in a lot of trouble. And so let's showcase what we can do with that. Let's go attack this group and find where our profit's going to be. In this case, our profit is going to be this top side and making this group nice and strong. So we're going to play here. This is actively attacking this group. And again, the goal here is to get our group nice and strong and turn this top potential into points. Eventually, we do have to turn our potential into points. And so we can start to do that here. Okay, and so now black is looking to come back. Let's block. I don't want black to be able to connect too easily. But this is black doing a pretty good job of getting some eye space for this group, right? He needs to find 2 eyes for this group to live. And so this is the start of black getting some eye space, which is fine. Remember, guys, our goal is not to kill this group. When you're attacking groups, your goal should not be to kill. Your goal should be to find profit somewhere. Sometimes the profit is killing the group, right? If your opponent makes a mistake, if you threaten to kill the group and they mess up, yeah, then you get to kill the group. Hooray. But going into the attack, your goal should be something other than killing. Because the issue is if you try to kill and you end up messing it up and they live, you end up losing a lot more than if your goal was to surround and sente, right? Typically easier to do that. Just let them live, surround them in sente, and be done with it. Okay. And so our friends plays here, again looking to get more eye space. And while this is a second line move, it's a little small, it threatens the livelihood of this group. So playing here is okay because it threatens the life and death status of this group. So we kind of get this move for free. And now I'm just going to play a move like this to stop black from being able to, if black had played a move like this, then it actively looks to reduce our group while extending eye space. So this takes it away. Black can play a move like D10 now, which probably it is close to getting them alive. But that means that we get this move in sente. We're likely then going to be able to tanuki, which means we got all of this and the strength of our group in sente, which is pretty good. Though black did get some very good strength in the center. Again, black handled this situation very, very well. This was a tricky situation. Okay, that is fine. Black looks to push through. We will obviously protect this cut. This is a very, very, very big cut. Must protect our cuts. Black looks to peep. I like this move as well. It threatens to cut. In this case, if black hits this cut, our stones die. So we must protect this cut as well. This was a good exchange for black. There was some aji here. If black had tried to come in this way and tried to take this cut, black would have been in quite a bit of trouble here. So I'm glad to see that black took this exchange, fixes that aji, gets G11 for free. This was a good exchange by black. Okay, black extends. We definitely want to do something over here. Typically, the shape move is to play this. We don't really want to play here. It's kind of gross shape, and so I prefer this. It protects the corner more, and still protects this cut. Black attaches. What do we do when we get attached? We must respond either with extending or with the Hane. In this case, extending is fine. I think the Hane would have been okay as well, but we just want to play. We just want to stay solid here and make it so that this can't be reduced anymore. And so you'll notice that while all this is happening, black is getting life. Black is still probably going to need a move like c10, but it's, yeah, because I think there's only one eye here. So black will probably have to play something like c10 now, in which case black will then be alive. Oh, you gotta be a little careful, black. I'm not so sure that you are alive yet. I don't know if you could actually find the timing to play this move. But that's fine. Let's just, well, it's not fine. In situations like this, guys, it's I don't like using the word naive because it kind of is an insulting word, but I don't mean it in that way. But in this situation, it's important to know it's a little naive to expect to be able to live in Sente. Typically, if you're getting attacked, you're not going to be living in Sente. You're going to be living in Gote. I think if we play something like this, then black is dead. But that's not what we're going to do right now. What I want to do is I want to invade this very large area over here. And so this is a tough area to invade. What do we want to, where do we even start with this? There are a couple options. But one of my favorite options is just attaching to a strong stone and going from there and causing trickiness. So we're going to attach to this stone. And if black hanes, then we're going to cross cut. And if black extends, then we'll have to figure out black. If black plays Q3 or Q5, it's a little trickier for us, but we will probably be okay. But in this case, when black plays the Hane, we can go play the cross cut. Because what's nice about these invasions is our stones can die. We don't have to save all the stones. We just need to save some of them. So in this case, we can go play this Atari and then play this extension, and we're starting to build some eye space here. I don't think we're quite alive yet, but we've got some pretty good Aji, so we should be okay. But let's see. And the Aji I'm talking about is we can get P3 threatening this cut. Our opponent's going hard here, guys. Our opponent's going hard. Okay, let's extend. Need to make sure that we are alive here, and then we can just come back here. I think this will be fine enough. Our group is alive now. Black plays this. It's a fine move. There's nothing wrong with this. But does that affect the life and death status of this group? It does not. We do not need to respond to this move. I think it would be bigger if we played a move like this to ensure that this corner is alive, because I was unsure if black played something like Q2. Q2 would have been a pretty tough move to answer. But with black playing here, we are going to play this, because again, there's no way that I should assume we're going to live here in Sente. So let's just make sure we're alive. We do so in Gote. That's perfectly fine. But we were able to successfully invade the corner, and it wasn't that fun. But now black's got some really good control over the center of the board, and that's pretty problematic. This is going to be pretty tough to deal with. But keep in mind, black still isn't alive here. And so that's the problem is, yeah, black is getting all these nice moves, but I'm not so sure that black can actually be doing all of this. So what now? So now black is looking to make this pretty big. We should look at invading this. And so, how deep can we go? Can we play here? Can we play here? Probably not. This might be safe, but this move feels about right to me. If we're looking at these two stones or these two stones as kind of like the sector line, this looks to play right on it. So I think this is probably about as deep as we can go here. We can break in on the left side as well. This is a strong move. This is a strong move from our friend. Okay, we will fly out as well. We'll go try to run towards our group over here. Otherwise, we might just have like a big fight on our hands, but that's always fun too. Okay, well, I think we're probably going to play on the inside here, with black looking to cut. We have the option of playing on the outside, playing on the inside. I wanted to play on this side to make this group a little weaker, because again, I don't think this group's alive yet. So I think if we play something like C10, that this group is going to just not be loving life too well. So what do we want to do here? So in this case, I actually, after doing a touch reading, which I know is cheating in these games, I shouldn't be reading, I want to play this to threaten to cut here. And then see if I can do something with that. And so we can play this Atari into the connection and get out that way. We can play the Atari and then this Atari and try to kill this group, which I honestly, I'm pretty sure this kills the group, but I'm not looking to kill here. So we're just going to play on the outside. We're going to connect. Black should most assuredly play here, but we will go and break through here. Black is looking to get a lot here, but black's got to be really, really careful, because this is the type of situation where if this doesn't work, black's going to lose a lot because black is trying to kill our group. Okay. So now we'll just go and capture. So our group is safe, but these stones, not too great. But again, this group is not alive. Good job. Good job, black. That was a very important move. We will go play here. Black will extend or capture. Now black is alive. Pretty sure black is alive now. That's a very important thing. We've got these two stones. I don't know what to do with them. Not gonna lie. So let's try to get them to live somehow. Let's play a move like this to threaten to push through. Black will typically block here. And then we can attach to this stone. This is way beyond the basics. I apologize, guys, but this is an important thing. It's really important to know how to reduce this shape. And you start with playing one of the two shoulder hits on the inside. When black extends, you go and attach to the other stone. Black will wedge now, and we Atari the stone. And now there's two cuts. Which cut is more important? This cut is much more important than this one. So we protect the important cut. Black can go and Atari this stone. That is fine. The goal here was to connect up these stones, which we were able to do. So this was using a weakness of our opponents to get strength for our group. Tricky stuff, really tricky stuff, but very important, because that's the goal of middle game, is keep your group strong and reduce your opponent's potential and grow your potential. So we had a weak group with N9 and N11, and black had a potentially weak group there, so we lean on that. Okay, black wedges, we're certainly going to Atari. That's an interesting move. Okay, and so black goes back. I'm going to connect here, because if black Atari's this stone, we connect here. If black Atari's this stone, we connect here. We've got Miai between those two, which means that we have successfully reduced this area, which was big. This was going to be a big area for black. So now we're fully in control, because we've got this corner, this very large corner, and this side. And all black has is this corner and this side. Okay. And this group, is this group alive? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that group's alive. What if we play a move like this? I don't know if black's alive. Black probably needs to connect to this group somehow. That's a great way to do it. And the cut works, unfortunately, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't because of these stones. I was thinking this, but then if black's able to get this cut, then that's no good. Very nice response by black. I like it. I like it quite a bit. So we're nearing endgame. We really are. So can we find some sente moves? I think we can. I think that this move is probably big and sente. It's a second line move, but we are at the point in the game where second line moves start becoming important, as do big first line moves. Like we could look at this monkey jump. But I'm just going to go play this big second line move, which threatens monkey jump. It secures the corner. We can also look at a move like O7 or N7 to reduce this further. I'm kind of O7 was probably bigger than this. Nice move, black. Nice move. Black's doing well here. I'm going to play O7 to further reduce this and to try to resurrect this stone. The stone's dead, but it's not captured yet. It's just really annoying. Like what happens if we play this? That's really tough, huh? That's really tough. We can also play it either way. We can play it either way, guys. So let's play this. And then when black cuts, we can Atari this stone, which links us up here, and then we connect. So now our stone's alive. That's cool. Black gets some points here, but we weren't going to take all the points away. We were just looking to reduce. We weren't looking to get anything more out of that. So let's see what black does here. Black should probably play h5. h5 looks pretty big. What black plays here? Seems a little small. Seems a little small. So let's go play this into this and further reduce this. Now this cut is really annoying. So that is fine. We'll play here. And we can play... we actually don't need to do anything here, huh? We can go play this, which threatens the Atari. And we actually don't have to worry about anything here, because if black plays here, we just connect, and it puts their stones in Atari. So what do we want to do? We can look at a monkey jump here, but black can do the same thing here. So you know what? Let's just block this. It's gross shape. It's gross shape, but let's just block here. Big endgame move. And so now that we've kind of fully transitioned into endgame, we want to be looking for moves that are sente, moves that stop a sente move from your opponents. We call that reverse sente. And then if there are none of those, then we play the biggest gote move we can find. So this move was absolutely gote, but it was a big move. I'm unsure of what sente moves I have. Okay, I like this move by black. I'm going to play here to keep us connected. This was a little tricky, but now if black plays here, we connect. If black plays here, we connect, and this connects us here, which keeps this connected, which keeps this connected. This connection is really important, but this was a nice little tricky move. So what do we want to do now? Let's play. I saw this. This is like the sente, kind of the moves we're talking about finding. This is obviously sente. Puts these stones in Atari. And now I want to play here and reduce this. This also potentially gets us another eye here, which is kind of important because not 100% sure there's two eyes there. I think there are, but it'd be real nice if we can turn this into an eye as well. Okay, so black plays there. I like that. It's a tricky little move because now if black plays here, it threatens this cut and this cut. So we are actually going to play this very gross double empty triangle. Anytime you get your opponent to play the double empty triangle, you know that your move was pretty good. Of course, black played an empty triangle to do it, but black only had to play one. We had to play two. We had to play two. So gross. Okay. I don't think that works, but black's free to try. So we'll go play this. Okay, and so black extends. Um, so we can just connect. We can also look at the Hane. And I think either work fine. So in this case, I'm just going to connect. I think either move would have worked fine. Black plays there. That's fine. We will Atari, and then we can just make an I here. Or we might actually have to play here now. Doing some reading. If I play here, black descends, and I play here, and black plays there. Yeah, it actually doesn't look too great. So we will play this instead, which is probably what I should have played instead of R3. But we are still fine now. Little bit of fun, life and death in the game. Okay, so now black is playing up here with the end game. Do you guys know not to play here? Let's see if our opponent knows. Let's see if our opponent knows how to punish this. Ah, unfortunate. Unfortunate. There was a punishment there. If black Ataris, white captures, black Ataris, white connects, black Ataris, it all dies. It all dies. But we will just connect. We'll go over that in the actually we don't need to go over that in review. I just went over it. Okay, big move. I like that. And at this point we're just in the nitty gritty end game. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll go finish this game up, and then we will see you guys at the end of the game, because I think you kind of see we went over all the things, right? We've got 018. This is kind of big. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna finish this game out. There's a lot of interesting end game here. We're not gonna skip it. There's just too much. There's a lot of end game here. So, and enough of you have said that. Please, or have told me, please stop skipping the end game, because we like the end game. And if you're not interested in the end game, then you get to you could just skip ahead. So yeah, let's finish it out. Okay, that was a big move. So I'm happy to see that. Let's go, and I think connecting here is fairly large. So I'm going to do that. It makes this push pretty annoying. It makes it actually really, really problematic. You were supposed to block this. This move's really problematic. Like, really, really bad. Because what happens when we play here? You can't play this now. You can't do it. Please don't do it. Please see that you have to play something like T7. He's thinking that's good. That is good. Hey, I'm happy to see that. What would have happened if he played here? So we would have gotten this Atari, and then this, and it all dies. So we played there. We will go and push him. So yeah, it was pretty important for our friends to see what this cut did. Okay, so next, what are we gonna do next? Let's see. I like this. This is, an amount of points. And we don't need to respond to this. I like this. It gets us a point here and looks to push through here. I like this, which threatens to push through and potentially gets us a point here. We also have this, which gets us some points here and gives us a follow-up here. So that's good. I like to see that. What else do we have? What else do we have on this board? I don't know. There isn't too much left. Let's go block here. That's a pretty important one. Okay. And we'll just block here. And I guess I lied, because at this point in time, I've played all the big endgame stuff. So now we're just in the small nitty gritty. So now I will see you guys at the end of the game. Okay, so here we are at the end of the game, and don't pay attention to that score because our opponent played this game really well. But there were obviously some things that could have gone better. So let's go jump into the review now and see where our friends could have played better. Okay, so here we are in the review, and honestly, I think our friends did a really good job uh, during the beginning of this game. I think all these decisions make a lot of sense to me. I think they just played this really well. Here, I think probably just jumping is the more appropriate thing to do. Uh, Either way, White's going to be able to develop this. I probably just would have come back. But playing here just gives us a little more strength, right? We can kind of treat K17 like a weak stone, and if that's the case, we don't want to attach to it. So probably just the first comment here is that we're attaching to a weak stone, and we know what ends up happening with that is both their stone and our stone get stronger, but ours was weak to begin with. And so now we've got a nice strong group. I mentioned that we could have played this, and this is probably what I would have played in an actual game, because if black wants to take this cut, we get to Atari and then descend, and we get this in Sente. And so that means that all we had to do is give up K17, and we get this stone and and Sente again. But we just connected to keep it simple, and black Tanuki'd. I think this is fine. I possibly would have played over here, but this is certainly playable. This is absolutely not a reason that you're going to lose a game. I don't even know if this is a mistake. This just looks like a fine move. So here, this is an important one to go over. So black played here and then did this. But even here, we could probably ignore this move because let's back it up a little. If we had played here, black, where black would want to play? Black would want to play here. This is the move that black would want to play. We would probably look at something like this, and then black could connect here. Black could connect here. Probably this is better because if black plays here, we can eventually get this in endgame. But either way, black would want to play this move and would do something over here. When this stone is here, that changes things quite a bit for this, though. Because now if we play here, black still wants to play this, but black can't play this anymore. Because if black plays this, now we get to play here to threaten the cut. And black will block. And now we can play here. Black cannot stop this. We are either going to connect back up to C8, or we're going to rip through here. If black tries this, then we play here. And black can't do this because then we get this Atari into this Atari, which means that black would have to extend, but that means we get to play here. And black can't do this because now we get here and we get to kill this stone. So black can't play there. And if black can't play there, does black play this? But then we just play here and we're connected up. Again, black can't do this. The stone will die. So it gets really dangerous for black. It gets really, really, really dangerous for black once this stone's here. So we need to be a little careful with that. But with black playing here, it's possible that they're just okay. So I decided to jump out. Black played here. This seems a little ambitious to me. So here, with these two stones, they're not going to live on the side, right? There's obviously no way to live over here. So I think that these stones probably want to run out this way. Also, while doing that, if they run out this way, these two stones get weaker. So I think here it's probably more appropriate for black to play a move like this. Maybe look to develop the center a little bit. But as white gets here, I mean, at this point, this would be a really tough move. Black would have to run out this way. But this is just okay. This is still fine. This still looks perfectly fine for black, in my opinion. But black playing here, I just think it's the wrong direction. So now we surround the corner. That's pretty big. Black looks to do things. So we blocked, and then black took the aggressive line, and I'm happy to see this. Black saw this cut, decided they were going to take it, and it shows some fighting spirit. I like that. It's very possible that black could have gotten in a lot, in quite a bit of trouble if I play a move like this first, which might threaten the livelihood of this group, and then that cut isn't there later that black was able to exploit. But black did a really good job of handling this, honestly. But there's a price to be paid for that. And that's just a byproduct of having to deal with playing me, right? Where you're playing a stronger opponent, I'm going to show the weaknesses. But that is my job in these games to do. So black is now playing these nice forcing moves to get some eye space. I think black did a really good job here. This again was a little too ambitious. I think if we play here, black's in a lot of trouble. I'm not sure. If maybe black is fine. Maybe black is fine. But I don't know. I don't know. It just like there's a lot of potential badness here. But so yeah, the Tanuki was I thought a little ambitious, but that's fine. Again, if this is our friend's playstyle, I like it, right? Because it puts the onus on your opponent to find your weaknesses, and they aren't necessarily easy to find. So then we go into this. I think I don't know. It's tough. Because if this happens, I think white probably lives, and if this happens, we can play here, which threatens this and threatens this for life. So maybe there's just really no way out of this one. But yeah, with the so this is important to go over for invasion stuff. The three moves I was considering for invasions was the attachment here, or S4. If we had played S4, this is a typical response, and then we can go live in the corner like this. Or we can look to live on the outside, something like this. We might maybe attach here, then take a crosscut. There's lots of options. You see a lot of these crosscuts in invasions because you just want to make it difficult for your opponent. But in this case, I liked this. But this was tricky. This was tricky for sure, and I think I messed it up. I think if black plays here, it's going to be really, really tough for us to live. It could go this way, but I do think actually this is alive because I think this is L+1. But it's tough because it's black's move, right? So, but I think we're alive. I think we're alive here. But tricky. It's tricky life and death stuff. But black decided to Tanuki and gave us the opportunity to get nice, easy life here. And then this was probably like the next real interesting part. And I think black handled this very, very well. I was a little disappointed to see black give up so easily. When let's see, when we did this, I would have liked to have seen black extend further and just really turn this into a fight. But I don't think it's one that black's going to come out ahead on. It's tricky. It's going to be tricky for both players. So I don't fault black for just doing this, and then going and getting life. And yeah, I guess I really complicated the game on him. So this part I don't want to go over too much because this was just the game got complicated. We kind of went over in the game how we were able to exploit the weaknesses. But yeah, at the beginning, black was just doing really well, and I just think really, I guess like the first big mistake was probably this move here. I think it was probably worth First of all, responding to this is a surprisingly big move here. I never came back to this when I was discussing this variation. Often when white plays this is what we want to do. It fully secures the corner, and it threatens to kill d2. That's endgame, but it threatens to kill it. And so, yeah, if white wants to develop here, that is fine, and black just continues playing the game. This is still an even game. But once black started doing this, I think white is probably solidly ahead now. It can happen that quickly. But I thought our friend did. I thought our friend did a spectacular job. I was really happy to see this cut. I think they did a fantastic job fighting, considering they're fighting against somebody who's considerably stronger. I think they did a good job. So my guess is our friend here wins a lot of games by fighting. That is my guess. Is that's their style, and I am here for it. So I think that's where we're going to leave this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this bus ride. I thought it was a good game, so I certainly enjoyed it. Hopefully our friend enjoyed it as well. Anyway, that's where we'll leave it. So as per always, thank you guys for coming out for another Ride in the Struggle Bus where everyone's Empty Triangle. Have a good one, guys.